Russell Joel Brown. Join me February 2nd for Over the Rainbow, a celebration of Jewish singer-songwriters at the Maxwell Theater. The concert benefits the Augusta Jewish Museum. Details and tickets at augustajewishmuseum.org.
Thanks for watching News 12 on your side.
Help us feed hungry children. Our goal is to feed 2 million meals to hungry children this year, and you can help us when you round up at Parker's Kitchen. We're going to match 25% of your donation.
Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 at 6 o'clock.
A smoke shop employee shot and killed during an armed robbery.
Authorities say 3 suspects then led them on a high-speed chase crossing county lines from Richmond to Burke on Friday night. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Wrdw.
And I'm Zayna Halliburton. One of those 3 suspects is now in custody, 22-year-old Terrence Walker. Authorities say he was the driver in the chase. The other 2 suspects still on the loose tonight.
Your Kennedy Payne joins us live from the newsroom. Kennedy, the victim in this case was just 29 years old and his loss is already being felt all across our area.
It definitely is. I spoke to several people in the South Augusta community today currently mourning the loss of Jordan. That's what his friends knew him as, and they say he had the kindest heart.
29-year-old Jordan Rubio was working at a smoke shop when police say 3 armed robbers came in and someone shot him.
Nothing in that vape shop was worth Jordan's life.
Mia Posey owns a shop right near the one Jordan owns with his 2 brothers.
When the police came to my door, I texted him, I'm like, please, like, let me know, like, you're okay. Like, I'm calling, he didn't respond. I've called him before, he's, like, responded. So just when he didn't that day was just like, dang, I already knew what was going on.
And now Posey is left reflecting on their last words.
I text him, get home safe, and he texted me and was like, you too. To know, like, that was, like, one of the last things we said to each other was just like, I made it home, but he wouldn't.
And now his death sending shockwaves through South Augusta and leaving a community mourning.
So to know that it was like a robbery that led to his death, I'm pretty sure if Jordan knew that you wanted something that bad, he would have just gave it to you because that was his heart.
And worried about the future.
I haven't even been at work since it happened, honestly. Like, I've been to work probably like once, taking it slow, because it's just scary right now. It's just sensitive.
But most importantly, hoping for justice.
Sweet Soul was took from everybody, and he didn't deserve it. So I definitely hope that Jordan gets his justice. You know, we can't bring him back, but someone sweet and innocent did lose their life. Someone so young, you know, a brother, a friend.
And others who knew Jordan that I spoke with say he always made sure that you had what you needed, even if you were short on change. They say he would never let you go without.
Just a heartbreaking story to hear that from the friend as well, but also good on law enforcement in this case for working together closely to try to bring some justice for Jordan there.
That's right, and certainly if anyone at home knows something, because a couple suspects still on the loose there, certainly reach out to law enforcement. But thanks, Kennedy, for shining a light on who Jordan was. Much more news ahead, but right now we're going to send things over to First Alert meteorologist McKell and Hannah Harding. What we can expect as we head into the week. No snow, McKell.
No snow, at least for this week. Definitely was an interesting finish to last weekend. Thankfully, we didn't see those freezing impacts linger into the weekend in terms of temperatures staying below freezing for highs. But it was a chilly weekend. We still are cool and chilly out there for today. It was very cloudy for today as well. 49 degrees right now, a southwest wind at about 3 miles an hour. The big picture is that we have a cold front, though, moving through for today. That's giving us those cloudier skies. And you can see that area of low pressure in the Gulf. We have seen a few wraparound showers on the backside of that, but just not too much activity for us here locally for today. And we're noticing cloud cover starting to clear here a little bit as we head deeper into tonight. So we're noticing that cloud cover dropping south towards I-20. Haven't seen much in the way of measurable rainfall, though, for any areas today. You can see some of our southern counties maybe picking up closer to about 1/10 of an inch in the extreme southern parts of those counties. But we'll keep rain chances here very slim the next couple of hours, so not looking much more in the rain department for any impacts from that through tonight. But it will be very chilly out there. We're in the 40s and 50s now. We'll see temperatures, though, dipping down towards the 20s for tonight. Also, a really good passage of the International Space Station for tonight. We'll talk about that more in your full forecast coming up.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mikkel. A second suspect in an Aiken murder is now in custody. Authorities say 17-year-old Tristan McCarty of Trenton is charged in connection to a shooting that happened in September. This happened at Columbia Avenue and Chesterfield Street, and the victim identified as 42-year-old William Mathis Jr. 22-year-old Sebastian Green is accused of shooting Mathis during an armed robbery, and McCarty is charged with accessory before the murder by driving away with Green. And a 26-year-old is sentenced to life without parole for a deadly shooting in 2020. 26-year-old Natrone Adams was one of two people arrested for the death of Keon Demmons on Olive Road. After deliberating for less than 20 minutes in December, a jury found Adams guilty of malice murder, felony murder, aggravated assault, and several other charges. A 75-year sentence for those other charges will run consecutive to the life sentence. Well, Richmond County leaders are now debating whether to opt out of a new Georgia law. The law is meant to change how local governments look at property taxes with a homestead exemption, essentially saving you money if you have that exemption.
Voters across the state approved the measure on November's ballot, but now all counties have one chance to opt out of the law. Your Sydney Hood joins us live from the municipal building in Sydney. It sounds like there are a lot of unanswered questions tonight.
As former Augusta Mayor Bob Young put it, these questions should have been answered before voters went to the polls in November. He says this goes beyond homestead exemption, but it's about whether votes in this county mean anything. Repeatedly, he reminded commissioners that more than 60% of voters in Richmond County voted yes to the homestead exemption.
And the exemption is just another incentive for people to invest in home ownership in Augusta, Richmond County. So my message to you is that you don't need to schedule any public hearings about opting out. The public hearing was held on November 5th, when 48,000 people in Richmond County said, give us our tax burden.
We also heard from a firm representing the Augusta Metro Chamber of Commerce, which gave us an idea of how this impacts businesses.
Opting out of this measure is not a tactic break for the business community. It is simply a matter of assessing an equitable, fair property tax value on property, whether it's commercial or homestead. We need both.
Now, most commissioners didn't discuss whether they want to opt in or opt out, but Commissioner Wayne Guilfoyle says his concerns is the potential ripple effect here. He questions what will happen to businesses and new construction in the community if commissioners take action on the homestead exemption.
We also going to have to find funding to keep our operations going, especially with our new sheriff's department. You got our judicial, and you even got the marshal's department that's coming for us now looking for funding. Well, we $8.7 million in arrear right now. Money's got to come from somewhere, and that's something that we have to look at. That's the elephant in the room for me.
Now, the city administrator says they'll meet on Wednesday to discuss when they'll hold public hearings for this. The city administrator says the goal is to have commissioners decide by the last commission meeting in February whether they want to opt in or opt out.
And it's certainly nice to see them taking their time discussing this. A lot of people can give their input.
Yeah, a lot of discussion happening on this in the last week or so. Thank you, City, for keeping us updated there from the Augusta Municipal Building.
A local peach farmer is fighting fire with fire by responding to a news release published by the Department of Labor with its own news release.
Titan Farms not only states the information is not accurate in the DOL news release, but also adds it's unfortunate that the Department of Labor continues to repeat unfounded allegations, some of which they ultimately drop due to lack of proof.
Senior investigative reporter Liz Owens has been digging into the documents on the case.
Right, and all this stems from an old case. We're talking pre-pandemic, in fact.
A lot of discussion happening on this in the last week or so. Thank you, City, for keeping us updated there from the Augusta Municipal Building.
A local peach farmer is fighting fire with fire by responding to a news release published by the Department of Labor with its own news release.
Titan Farms not only states the information is not accurate in the DOL news release, but also adds it's unfortunate that the Department of Labor continues to repeat unfounded allegations, some of which they ultimately drop due to lack of proof.
Senior investigative reporter Liz Owens has been digging into the documents on the case.
Right, and all this stems from an old case. We're talking pre-pandemic, in fact, alleging Titan Farms withheld wages from workers back in 2018 and 2019. Titan Farms is the fourth largest employer of H-2A workers in South Carolina. The H-2A program allows employers to apply for temporary non-U.S. citizen workers every year. We showed you over the summer how many of our local farmers depend on H-2A workers during growing season. Regulations require employers to pay at least $11.13 an hour. According to the Department of Labor's news release put out last week, Titan Farms violated this regulation by requesting workers to make political donations. Titan Farmers responded in this news release. At no point were workers required to make political contributions, nor were any such deductions made from their wages for this purpose. The Department of Labor ultimately dropped that allegation. The I-Team did find a judge dismissed the case in 2023, writing the parties reached a resolution in this matter, obviating the need for a formal hearing. We did not find any allegations of political contributions made in any of the available court documents. However, we did find this.
Over the last 24 years, we have grown into the second largest peach operation in the country. We could not have done this without participating in the H-2A program.
This is video of Chalmers Carr, the owner of Titan Farms, testifying at a Senate Judiciary hearing in 2023.
Food inflation is at an all-time high. Our imports and our dependence on foreign countries for food sources is growing rapidly. The Department of Labor is using a flawed wage methodology.
The same year, a judge dismissed the case. Your I-Team also found this lawsuit filed against the Department of Labor just a couple months ago. Carr's the president of USA Farmers, the National H-2A Association, which filed the lawsuit.
Allow me to share a few impacts from our farm. Under the flawed AWARE methodology, this year our wages increased 14%. This will result in a $2.6 million payroll increase. But more importantly, it will raise the cost of our box of peaches 5%. This is what we call food inflation.
Again, that video when he testified in front of the Senate Judiciary hearing was in 2023. The same year, administrative judge dismissed the case against him. So why did the DOL then publish a news release just last week about a case a judge dismissed in 2023? The DOL's website says it needs the public's help locating workers owed back wages. We know from our prior investigations, U.S. Immigration collects detailed information about each and every one of the H-2A workers every year. So I did email the DOL asking if they're working with immigration on getting that contact information for those workers owed back pay. The Department of Labor has not yet responded to my question.
Well, thank you for that, Liz. We are looking at low temperatures for tonight on the colder side for sure, so the winter jacket will be needed by tomorrow morning. We'll talk about your forecast again coming up next.
Time and Temp, brought to you by your First Alert weather team.
This is not you.
It's not me.
Exhibition Center. Get coupons at nationalhottub.com. On your sideline.
Well, it's been a little under a year since North Augusta High School broke ground on 2 new stadiums for the baseball and softball teams.
That project was expected to be completed ahead of the 2025 season. Now the school plans to play one more season over at Riverview Park before making the transition.
That's where we go live with your News 12 sports reporter, Joseph Doring. Joseph.
Yeah, well, this is going to be a bittersweet season for North Augusta's baseball and softball teams. While most players would prefer to play on a brand new facility, these players are going to be at somewhere they have been very used to for the last several decades. Right here at Riverview Park, they'll have one more chance to close out a phenomenal season before transitioning to a brand new stadium next year. You've seen the construction and you can see the vision. In just a few more months, right across the street from North Augusta High School will be 2 brand new facilities, the newest home of the Yellow Jackets baseball and softball teams.
The chance to have something that's ours, our own atmosphere at school, it's going to be exciting.
The over $8 million project was slated to be complete ahead of this year's season, but after multiple delays like the impact of Hurricane Helene and just how big of a project it truly is, the facilities are still several months from being ready for play. In the event construction concludes as originally planned, head coach Kevin Lynn says the team has no plans to move fields in the middle of their 2025 season.
I don't want to have a summer ball starting there. I want our kids to start a regular season there and open the season up, have a true home opener.
The good news is, nothing about this year will feel different for the team. The Yellow Jackets have called Riverview Park home for over 40 years, and they'll get one more chance to send it out with a grand slam.
I grew up watching my brother play here and many people before him, so being able to play here one last time feels really good.
I'd like to go out on a high note, finish up strong here. Our goal is to win all of our games at home since we play here all the time and we know the layout more than anybody else. So it'd be nice to accomplish those goals in our last season.
North Augusta will open their season on the road February 11th when they take on Strom Thurmond. Under Coach Lynn, the Yellow Jackets are 40-40 in his career. It's hard to believe that it's baseball season, y'all, but before we know it, we're going to be talking about the Masters.
And really, that's right, Joe, because as this year just flies by, I mean, it's one thing after the next, but that baseball field, amazing.
It's going to be absolutely beautiful, and have them both on the campus or right off the campus right there. Both together, it's going to be a great upgrade with their facility. Joseph, we appreciate you reporting out there from Riverview Park Activity Center. Mikkel, they're out there playing baseball right now. It's a little chilly for that.
A little chilly out there for sure. We can see the clearing off in the distance, so a really cool shot here from our Beach Island camera as we look towards the city of Augusta. But looking west and north here, you can see just the horizon, but still some clouds that are overpassing central and southern parts of the area right now. We look at temperatures in the upper 40s, the south-southwest wind at about 3 miles an hour. Low pressure in the Gulf of Mexico, so we have seen a few isolated showers for today, but those rain chances starting to wrap up here for the remainder of this evening, and we'll see skies gradually clearing through tonight. We're looking at temperatures in the 40s now for the most part. A few low 50s still hanging on out there, but it has definitely been a chillier day for today. The bonfire forecast shows a chilly outlook for this evening as we look at temps in the upper 30s before midnight. So a cold evening ahead, and you will need that winter jacket, especially by tomorrow morning. We're looking at temperatures in the 20s as you wake up for your Tuesday. Across the area, everyone below freezing yet again for tomorrow morning. As far as our temperature history, looking at the month of January here, only one above average day since about the second month of the day, and that came just before last Tuesday. And then Friday, of course, our winter weather day, we only saw highs in the low 30s, and then for today we have seen those temps max out at about 52, unfortunately. So it definitely was a cooler day out there and still below average. We're looking at highs for tomorrow still staying below average in those low to mid 50s, and we'll see a sunnier start to our day, more cloud cover possible by the end of our Tuesday into Wednesday. Before tonight, you'll have a decent chance to see the International Space Station. We're looking at that really occurring. It just happened. So if you missed it, dang, you missed it. But we may have another chance to see that as we head later into the afternoon. But as far as looking at high temperatures for the remainder of this week, there were still some clouds out there, so it likely wasn't a good evening for most of us. But high temperatures for the remainder of this week will be in those low to mid 50s and upper 50s as we head towards Friday. And then we're looking at your frost and freeze forecast here. Most mornings below freezing up until the weekend here, all mornings really. And then Saturday and Sunday, we'll see a brief warm up into the 40s for our mornings, and then we're right back near freezing by Monday morning. The extended forecast is calling for another pretty significant cold snap across our area. So no talks of any other winter weather just yet, but definitely looking like another extended cold period of weather as we head into next week primarily. But this week we'll keep 50s in the highs, a little warmer by the weekend as we see a slight ridge building in our upper level pattern, but lots of sunshine in between now and Friday, so enjoy it.
Okay, that's what I want to see. I want to see the sun. Thanks, Mikkel. Coming up nearly 2 years later, and one local nonprofit is hoping to expand. After the break, we're checking in on how this could bring more good to our area.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
Don't miss Ashley Pot Buy, starting at just $1.99. Shop now and pay later with 0% interest until 2030 with no minimum purchase. Only at Ashley.
Food insecurity still remains a problem in our area in 2025. That's why organizations like the Grace Place Mission Center exist. They provide a number of resources outside of just food to help those who need it. They're now finding solutions and how they can expand on what they already do.
Sometimes if we're busy, we can run out of green beans or we can run out of eggs, but we can never run out of the grace of God. So I think that the name reflects that.
Grace Place Mission Center is getting ready to hit its 2-year anniversary.
When we opened in March of 2023, we had that first month we were open, we probably had maybe 5 or 10 families that come in. But last year, we served almost 11,000 people.
It's a place that offers food, clothes, and a monthly senior food box program. Director Greg Mason says because of the growth, they're moving to a new permanent location.
The need has grown beyond the space that we have here, and there's other things we'd like to do. And so we're going to be moving to a location on Old Evans Road, only a couple of miles from here, hopefully in March of this year. And we'll be able to serve the community better there too. So.
He says with more space, they will also be able to offer Bible study classes.
We also like to be able to help people with spiritual needs, and we give away Bibles and devotionals and things like that. We offer to pray with people and offer the counsel that we can. So many of life's issues are not easily answered.
And congrats to them for their 2-year anniversary coming up in March. And certainly there's a need in our area. They're now going to expand not too far from where they are now.
It's good to see so many of our local organizations, nonprofits, charities expanding. I feel like you've reported on so many of them growing moving into 2025, which is always good to see.
That's right. So there is help in our area. And if you are in need of help, Grace Place is open weekly on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Again, they're located off Riverwatch Parkway. All of this information can be found on our website under the Finding Solutions tab. Mikkel.
And we are bringing you our 3-degree guarantee presented by Tub Doctor. Didn't make it there for today. We saw cloud cover building a little bit later in the day, some northwest winds that allowed it to be a little bit warmer than expected. But we'll try to get back on track tomorrow. Your forecast coming up next.
Thanks for watching News 12 on your side. Accidents can happen.
Call attorney John Foy and Associates.
And we're back taking a look at your start for tomorrow. Actually, let's take a look at low temperatures for tonight. We're looking at those in the 20s for tonight. So it's going to be a cold one out there. High temperatures for tomorrow. Also going to be in the 50s. So we'll be below average as we head into your Tuesday. Should see a decent amount of sunshine, though, for your day. And then we'll look at maybe a little more cloud cover rolling in as we do finish off your outlook for tomorrow. So not the worst day, but definitely still going to be on the cooler side as we do continue into your Tuesday. But let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. And we're looking at those temperatures as we do head into that 7-day forecast. Staying relatively mild for the week in terms of winter standards, close to 60, but we'll be warmer by the weekend. Looking at some rain chances by then as well.
Okay, thanks, Mikkel, for that. We're back live on 26 News at 7.
And for News 12 at 10 and 11 o'clock. Thanks for watching.
If you stop watching TV, your family can use the insurance money to help cover your final expenses or anything else. For a free quote, call today, 800-449-1305. Your kids already inherited your ears, allergies, and questionable singing voice. Don't make them inherit your final expense tab, too.
Hey guys, it's Anna Christina here for Roof Savers. It's that time of year again, the perfect time to invest in your home. And what's the most important investment for your home? Your roof. If you've been worried about the age of your roof, missing shingles, black stains, or even leaks, I've got great news for you. There's a scientifically proven solution that can extend the life of your roof by 17 years with just one treatment. It's called Renew at 17 with Rock-Lock technology exclusively from Roof Savers. And Russell Beckham is one of the owners of Roof Savers. And Russell, did I just hear that you can extend the life of a roof by 17 years with just one application?
You sure did, Anna. Our exclusive product, Renew at 17 with Rock-Lock technology, is a game changer for homeowners. Just one treatment of Renew at 17 extends the life of your roof by 17 years. But that's not all.
thanks to recent testing with independent scientists and a physicist from Oxford University, we've also confirmed that Renew It 17 significantly improves hail impact resistance, even with aging or inferior shingles.
There's never been a better time to protect your home's most valuable asset, your roof. Don't wait until it's too late. Call the team from Roof Savers right now for your free roof inspection.
Extend the life of your roof by 17 years with just one treatment with roof preservation exclusively from Roof Savers.
Roof Savers. Save your roof, save your money.